In 1972, English singer-songwriter Mandy Moore released her singular album, But That Is Me, and from it the track If I Smiled on Saturday. F minor to E flat, an accent on the higher notes on one right hand.
A year has come and gone, and now you think you're ready to be mine. Yeah, it's come and gone, but now you think you're ready to take wine.
Okay, a year has come and gone, and now you think you're ready to be mine. Yes, it's come and gone, but now you think you're ready to take wine. Okay, so from the second line, I'm taking it that she's been seeing this guy for a year, and now he wants to pot the question. By the fourth line, you're ready to take wine. Does that must relate to like communion.
How'd you learn to cut your onion so soon? When I saw in your eyes there was never the time, just the weekend, and that was.
Okay, how you'd learn to cut your onions so soon? Is that an idiom that I'm just not familiar with? Cut your onions. When I saw in your eyes there was never the time, just the weekend, and that was ah, I.
Cause if I smiled on Saturday, and if I laughed on Sunday.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I like the angularity of that chorus chordal structure right there, and the way her vocals land on the final note.
If I smiled on Saturday, I cried by Monday. Na 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 na.
I am imagining that this is somewhat related to, well, okay, if I smiled on Saturday, and if I laughed on Sunday, and if I smiled on Saturday, I cried by Monday. So it's about a happy weekend with a come down at the end.
Na 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 na. So now you think you're ready for my life. Now you've rubbed yours, you rinse the cloth and try to use it twice. Does your mother know you're out now, boy?
Okay, that idiom. Now it makes sense. Cut your onion. I believe it's a meme about crying or making someone else cry. Come to think of it.
Know that you're wrong, 'cause I don't know your song. Just the weekend, and that was.
I don't think I've encountered that as an idiom before. Cutting onions, Urban Dictionary, a term used to hide the fact that you're actually crying due to being moved emotionally by implying that you are crying because someone must be cutting.
Cause if I smiled on Saturday, and if I laughed on Sunday, and if I smiled on Saturday, I cried by Monday. Na 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 na.
Okay, second verse here. So now you think you're ready for my life. Now you've grubbied yours, you'll rinse the cloth and try to use it twice. A lot of like, once again, kind of seem to almost play off the onion metaphor. Like I'm thinking of like cutting, well, vegetables anyway. Does your mother know you're out late now, boy? These are two very young people. Well, you know that you're wrong, 'cause I don't know your song, and the weekends were always. But if I smile, okay, chorus again. Now it's come and gone. Yes, it's come again. You made me wait too long. You made me wait too long. If I smile on Saturday, I'm wondering if this is maybe about puppy love, about kind of premature, like a boy proposes to his high school or to his middle school sweetheart, or what, like play Oh, like proposing for like a play proposal for a play marriage or something, and the metaphors and such are to convey that this is spoken from the confused, misty-eyed view of childhood or early adolescence anyway.
Na, 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 na. Now it's come and gone. Yeah, it's come and gone. You made me wait too long. You made me wait too long.
Okay, this woman, just so you know, Amanda Campbell Moore, from Leeds, England, born 1945. During the her only prior recording activity, I guess, was in a 60s folk pop harmony combo, two of each. And beyond this album in 1972 on Philips, she released a couple of singles circa 1973, 74, and disappeared.
Cause if I smiled on Saturday and if I laughed on Sunday.
Serviceable backup, but I cannot tell you offhand who's backing her up on. Oh, let's see. Okay, I think I finally found it. Yeah. None of this info posted online, but Philip Chen bass, Richard Bailey drums, Lennox Langton congas, Nick Harrison string arrangements, and Jake Falsworth guitars. Okay. Oh, no, 3 guitars credited. Rune Hutton, Mike Todman, and Jake Falsworth. Yeah. None of those names ring a bell.
And if I smiled on Saturday, I cried on Monday. Na 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 na.
A rather effective wordless vocal hook there.
Na 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 na.
That kind of drives home the cadence. Like sometimes, every once in a while, I encounter like a wordless hook that kind of like enhances the chorus somewhat, and this does a pretty good job. Yeah, because the cadences that na 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 are different from the actual words that she was singing. You know, but both are quite effective. This has got like basically it's a track with some pretty tinkly piano, tender arrangement, and then a rather moving angular chorus to take things above and beyond just the plaintiveness of the verses. With that faint harmonica. And I guess she's mostly given us vocals and piano and, of course, the songs themselves. Yeah, Mandy More from her 1972 singular album, But That Is Me. Let's hear another track from it. Harvey Muscletoe. Okay, already that kind of musical, slightly cabaret sound. I'm thinking, just by those 2 notes, I'm thinking Cherry Hill Park by Billy Joe Royale. I wonder what Muscletoe, that sounds like a pun on mistletoe.
Harvey Muscletoe, when did you know that the people just smiled at your back?
I wonder if Muscletoe may be kind of a metaphor for someone with a certain type of walk or a certain type of balance.
Each time you opened your mouth to speak,
I love that hook. Okay, this one has an even better wordless hook. Yeah, I love the way her voice just kind of gallops like that. And over those chords too, I heard a major seventh in there.
You're not on your own. 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 You're not on your own.
She has a knack for throwing these really angular key changes into these otherwise kind of more plaintive, straight ahead. Like the verse will be kind of like straight ahead, and then she'll like throw in these kind of like zigzaggy type of progressions in the chorus.
Harvey Muscletoe, well this I know, that your mama is smiling right back. Each time you close up your mouth.
Okay, let's catch up with the lyrics. Okay, Harvey Muscletoe, when did you know that the people just smiled at your back? Each time you opened your mouth to speak, they laughed, you're not on your own. And that's where that great hook comes along, you're not on your own, and she starts throwing that around. Harvey Muscletoe, well this I know, that your mama is smiling right back. Each time you close up your mouth to think, she loves you, you're not on your own. I think this is about a boy who's growing up somewhat different than... A lot of these songs seem to be about boys. And I mean, not just like boys in the, metaphorical sense, like the young woman, like the boy. I'm talking like children. In fact, perhaps it's like she sings a lot from the point of view of child. These two songs anyway. It seems like I've stepped in more to kind of like a child's world, a little girl talking about a little boy. Yeah, not like young adults that you get in most pop songs and such. Harvey Muscle. Okay, back to Laura. I'll complete it a bit.
Think she you're not on your own. You're not on your own. You're not on your own.
Okay, I just Googled the word muscletoe, and the first, and pretty much all the first page of returns refers specifically to this album, so it's not like a phrase or an idiom or a character of folklore or anything. This is something. This is a kind of metaphor she made up.
Not on your own. You're 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 not on your own.
You hear that hi-hat, that kind of music hall, that dun tss, dun tss, dun tss. Yeah, those 2/4 like 1920s type feel. I like the darkness, somewhat kind of muffled quality of the backing track. It's like she's up front, in the mix, really crisp, clean, and some of this like bass work and some of this other instrumentation is kind of like in the dark, kind of like a typical 70s picture where like all the background is kind of like in the shadow, silhouetted somewhat.
You're not on your own. 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 You're not on your own.
It's the way that her vocals land on each chord as it hits like a new root note.
Not on your own. You're not on your own. You're not on your Harvey. Harvey Muscletoe. Well,
I
don't
think that may be just one key technically with like a rising, falling, or like a dropping note in it.
you know there's a place just for people like you, where no one speaks a word to think
She's a good vocalist. Yeah, she's got quite an octave range to her, several octaves anyway. I love the way she kind of like flutters on those higher notes.
You're not on your own. You're not on your own.
chorus is really being driven home in the song, and it makes me think that it's trying to convey like a greater meaning. Like you're not on your own. You may be different. You may be awkward. You may have an awkward walk or something. Let's see. Okay, the last verse. Harvey Muscletoe. Well, don't you know there's a place just for people like you? Well, no one speaks a word to think. They know, they know. Huh, no one speaks a word to think. So that means when people talk, they're sometimes not really putting any thought into what they're saying, because they're talking to like run their mouth rather than to think or to put any serious thought. Or the time that they spend running their mouth, they could actually be putting a bit of deeper thought into something before they form a conclusion. Yeah, that's quite a dense, a thick line right there. And the line before it kind of, I guess, a little bit more drives home what the point of this track is. There's a place just for people like you, meaning that there's a place for him in the world, even if he feels awkward. They know you're not on your own. Yeah. It's not, even though it's not quite revealed what exactly the story is of this character. She gives kind of just fragments that indicate just enough to let you kind of fill it in. Yeah, I think it's about a boy with an awkward walk, maybe a limp, maybe a guy who has a certain way of walking that places a lot of weight on one toe because of his posture. Who knows? It could be about, considering that she was born in 1945, and this is, she would have been of age as a child to have known, to have had classmates that suffered, that were from the polio virus when it was at its peak, like back in the 1950s. That it could be that, yeah. Oh, I love that little cocktail guitar that's kind of like fading in, just kind of tapping and touching and. Oh, listen to the echo of those piano notes. Kind of an airy echo. That was Mandy More with Harvey Muscletoe, and before that, If I Smiled on Saturday. Yes, two delightful tracks from her 1972 singular album, But That Is Me, released on Philips and then reissued just about a decade ago by archivist Sunbeam Records, and, you know, gaining more a newfound following here in the 21st century, and spreading on the internet and such, as like singer-songwriters from this period have been uncovered. Let's see, the original album goes for a median price, according to Discogs, of $194.44. Oh, and it's been a while since the last sold. The last sold March 27th, 2018. And the highest price it's gone for, according to Discogs, is $352.21. Although one went for as low as $11.04. It may have been a really beat up copy. Huh. Yeah, well. Anyway. Yeah, so much great stuff to explore and continue to discover well into the 21st. I don't know if I'm ever going to be done discovering, you know, and exploring all the great music of the 1970s. There's several lifetimes worth. For more rubies and sapphires from the Mandy More album, But That Is Me, see the directory of albums by English M artists, linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard. The arrangement, the composition, the vocals, the melodies, the lyrics, the metaphors, what they meant. Yeah. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled Tramaximalist, signing off.